Hey, what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? Markel's TV here, live, as I said, from yesterday or last night. So I want to go ahead and get on some of these comments. Let's see what we got here today from the comment section. Start with the first one here. It says, Markel, I had to add this so you get the bigger picture of my disability. I do not have I do have cervical spinal injuries from an airborne combat jump. I have injections for my cervical spine, refused neck surgery. Just both of my legs had over 10 surgeries and still having medical problems. And now the VA, like you said, giving me injections on my lower back to last. I got loss of use for both hands with SMC. Okay. I finally got my wheelchair van. Okay. But like I said, I got denied for higher grant for SHA. I believe because I don't have loss of use for my lower extremities. That is correct. If you look at the requirements for a higher grant for especially adaptive grants, not special adaptive grants, that is one of the requirements, loss of use. I know for me, I got it for loss of use of my left foot. Um, and then you wrote, uh, I lost where I was. I believe because I have loss of use, I do not have loss of use for my lower extremity. So that's why I believe my wife, who's my care provider, believes that is the course of action, excuse me. Again, thank you so much. So basically, this is a situation where he wants to file for uh, not foot drop, for flat feet, right, in order to try to get a higher SAH. Filing for flat feet, though, is not loss of use. Um, Again, I refer you to go back to your award letter because your award letter gives you the explanation of why. Now, if you're trying to get something changed with the VA, you got to start with the why and figure out how to turn the no to yes instead of just applying for random things. Because flat feet, in my opinion, because you're asking my opinion on this, adding flat feet is not going to get you anything other than another rating that's not going to do you any good. You may end up getting what, 10% for each foot, and with bilateral, you might end up with a 30% rating total. But that's not going to get you any closer to getting SHA. You know, if you go to the VA's website and you look up the definition for the qualifications for it, it spells it out there. And you've already applied and they've already granted you one. And I keep trying to reiterate to you guys, this is not complicated because they tell you basically in your award letter why they gave it to you. And if you don't agree with it, they tell you what you needed to get to the next level. Just applying for things and saying, okay, well, this should help me. Well, having flat feet, you know, that's a legitimate issue that a lot of us have, but that's not going to move you any closer, in my opinion, to getting to the specially adaptive housing grant. If you look up the definition, it says veterans and service members with specific service-connected disabilities may be eligible. You may be entitled to disability compensation due to loss or loss of use of both legs, unable to move around without the aids of braces, crutches, canes, or wheelchair, blindness in both eyes, loss of use of one leg and or organic disease or loss of use of one arm, affecting balance, being able to move without aid, loss of use of both arms or elbows, severe burn injuries. I mean, it's all listed right here. Now, in your situation, you say you have, let me read that correctly, loss of use of both hands. Is that what you wrote here? You got SMC for loss of use for both hands. Okay, so that's what I would be focused on as to why you would want to get a higher a higher SAH rate grant would be the loss of both hands. Okay, because that's loss of use. That is one of the qualifications to get you into that category instead of trying to file for flat feet. Flat feet is not going to help you with that, in my opinion. Focusing on loss of use of both hands, that's what's going to get you in there. So yes, I would appeal it if I was you, because you say you have loss of use of both hands. I would appeal it, and I'm just speaking in general, and I would work from that angle instead of trying to work from the angle of filing for flat feet. That's not going to help you, in my opinion. Let's get to the next comment here. Oops, we go back. See what else we got here. Dr. Markel dropping ball. Hey, I appreciate that, Mr. Miles. Let's see. Good morning, Brother Markel. Love your content as always. Communicating with veterans. I believe the DBQ. Okay, this is basically from the same person that I read before. T Mix, what's going on? Living in Mexico. Hey, Markel, I'm trying to get 100% for 6 years back pay on PTSD. They already paid me for 6 years, 30% through a Q claim. Question: in my appeal for a higher percentage, is it prudent to give a vocational expert opinion for TDIU just in case, since I haven't worked at all since my discharge in 2008? Okay, so I believe this is the one from last night, if I'm not mistaken. When I was live last night, there was someone that came on that said they were looking to get TDIU. They're 80%. They had SSDI, and they were trying to get TDIU. Okay. Without knowing, what all your disabilities are, if you maxed out on your disability, have no idea. Okay. I'm just going off what you wrote today or yesterday and what you said last night. If you already have an award letter from Social Security, that goes a long way. That helps you out quite a bit. If you've never applied for TDIU and this is your first time applying, you should apply with that award letter. Make sure you fill out the application correctly. If you're afraid you may not fill it out correctly, you need to go and talk to a VSO to make sure you fill that application out correctly, because a lot of times people screw that application up and they ended up having to redo it. And a lot of times the VA don't want to give them that time where they originally put the application in. So make sure you fill that application out correctly. That's the first thing I would do, is try to apply with my award letter with Social Security and see what they say. Okay. Talk to your doctors. Make sure your doctors understand what you're getting ready to do, because they're going to send your doctors a form to fill out, asking them if they agree with what you wrote. Okay. The same with your psych doctor. They're going to send out a form asking them if you agree, if they agree with what you wrote. That's where you got to start, man. The VA system is not real complicated, but I think sometimes when you get something that you are not expecting or a much lower rating, you want to give up. You want to try all these other things you read online and different points of views that you hear, but you start with the basics. The basics are: read your award letter. Why did they not give it to me? And then whatever it is that they were looking for, you try to turn that no into a yes by working with your doctors and your psychiatrists. What's up, Markel? What's up, Jay? Let's see. What's up, Markel? This is Kemp. Been a while, my brother, with reading the Blue Pill. What would be a reason for applying for SMCK? Been needing the Blue Pill, excuse me. I'm 100% PNT. Don't plan on chancing it. Just curious. Oh, so you want to try to get erectile dysfunction. What is needed? Well, I can tell you in my situation, I ended up getting it because of the medication that I'm taking was supposed to cause me problems. And the pharmacist and my doctor wrote up a statement saying that this particular medication that I'm taking from psych is going to cause me to have possibly, they didn't necessarily say it would, they said possibly cause me erectile dysfunction. So I applied for it with that letter that they wrote, and then a couple of months later, I was granted. Now, I don't know if there is a CNP exam for ED, because I was just given it based on the letter that I got from my pharmacist and my doctor. But if you're taking certain medications, which would be an example, If you talk to your doctor about it, your psych doctor or your primary healthcare doctor, and let them know that you have an issue and it may be caused by some of your medication, that's another way for you to get it as well. Um, Hopefully that helps you out, but that's how I ended up getting it. Now, there are some people where it's a mental thing, right? And they're taking that pill because whatever's going on with them from psych, they're taking it. And like I say, as long as you get a doctor or someone to write out that you need it, or it could be connected to service somehow. Now, I'm not familiar with any other way other than the way I got it, which is through medication. Let's see. Don't get PNT after 5 years renewed of being 100%. Oh, let's see. Didn't get PNT after 5 years review of being 100%. The only issue is not stat, is knee instability. No doctor's notes saying that I got better or chance of improving. Not sure how to fight this. Okay, so you applied PNT, 5 years, been 100%. The only issue was your knee. You don't have any doctors saying that they don't think you have any improvement and you're not sure how to fight it. Okay. So at this point, what did they say again? Why was the reason they said in your award letter? Was the reason they said is because of your knee? Because if that's the case, you need to go back and work with your primary care doctor or go to a specialist or even in some cases get a second opinion, because a second opinion is going to force the VA to get another doctor to come in to break the tie. Because anytime there's a tie in a decision, the tie goes to the veteran. So normally the VA would either send it to another doctor and so they can give an opinion. But again, it's not hard, guys. Start with that letter. Why did they not give it to you? And if the reason they didn't give it to you is because they're saying your knee is not stable or isn't instabilable, I can't even say the word now. Work with your primary healthcare doctor on that. Let's see. The CMP examiner said that my knee could improve. I'm 45. Then that's what you got to do. So you already got one statement, right? That's saying this could probably improve. You may have to go outside and get a second opinion, or a nexus is what they call time what you got going on now versus what this doctor says, because the tie always goes to the veteran. But the VA is going to step in and go, okay, we're going to send this and get a third opinion. And I'm sure a bunch of you all have been through this before, where you've gotten a doctor's opinion from somewhere else, took it to the VA, challenge whatever primary care doctor you had been seeing, and then they sent it somewhere else to get a third opinion. That sounds like what you're going to have to do, Mr. Ramirez, in order to get your claim approved. Hey, good morning, Juan. How you doing? What's up, JM? How you doing today? A lot of this stuff, man, I'm telling you all, I keep repeating the same thing because a lot of you guys, I don't think you understand how important that award letter is. That award letter tells you everything. It gives you what you need to get your claim approved. All you have to do is read it. This is why we didn't give you this percentage. We didn't give you this because let's just say your doctor did not say you needed whatever it was. Go back and talk to your doctor. Show them your award letter. Ask them if they agree with this. If they don't agree with it, ask them to write a statement. A lot of this stuff is simple, man. I'm telling you, it's simple. But we get so frustrated and we can't talk to the people that makes the decision, and it makes us feel like we can't get anything done. But it all starts with that award letter. Let's see. Can you take a look at what I asked under? Oh, I'm sorry. My psych meds did, but would they initiate it or do I need to? You need to. If you're taking psych meds, because they don't know what kind of reaction you're going to have. It's just in my case, that particular medication was supposed to cause me problems. But if the psych meds are causing you problems, right, that's something you got to bring to their attention. Tell your doctor about it. And then your doctor is probably just going to give you the pills to start with, and then ask them to write out a letter explaining why they gave you those pills. Then you go apply. You understand what I'm saying? But some medications, they don't know. Everybody's body is different. People are going to react in different ways. Does Voc Rehab increase the chances of them taking away or reducing benefit ratings in the future? No, 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 they don't. By going to voc rehab, no, no problem. But yeah, you want to initiate that camp, yeah, because they have no way of knowing. You know, if you take one, if we three people take one medication, right? Two of us may be good. The other one may have some kind of reaction that they've never seen or know about. So, yeah, it's best that you go tell them about it. Any other questions you guys got at this point? But ED is a very easy one, in my opinion, especially with all the medications that we're taking, guys. If you're interested in getting an extra 100, what is it? I forgot how much SMCK is. It's like $110, $115, whatever it is. And you own certain medications and you tell your doctor, look, and I'm not saying to go lie. I'm not telling you all go lie. But I would say, look, this is causing me problems. And a lot of it is because a lot of times some of you guys can't concentrate. I know sometimes when I take some of this medication I have, I got to lay down. I can't even stand up. You know, my concentration's off, my equilibrium's off. I got to lay down, man, for a minute and let my thoughts get together with some of this medication that we're taking. Because, like I said, everybody reacts different. I hear it's hot. Wait, I hear it's hot, but have you ever thought of visiting Barranquilla? Yes. You know what? Before this pandemic, last year when I came back from the DR, my plan was to go hit all those on the coast: Cali, Cartagena, Barranquilla, Santa Marta. The only one I've been to is San Andreas. That's the only one I've been to. All the other ones I've never been to. And that's something that I wanted to do last year. But with this pandemic, bro, didn't get a chance to do any of that. Hello, Mr. Moore. How you doing? Is there a way to request a different psychiatrist because I don't really like the one? Yes. Go to the patient advocate. Start there first. It's kind of like the military. Start the chain of command. Go to the patient advocate and let them know you're not happy with the current person that you're seeing. They're going to write up whatever, make a report. If they can't get it done, then you move up to administration. Okay? You can request changes at any time. That's your healthcare. You're the one that has to be comfortable with the care that you're receiving. And if you're not comfortable seeing a primary healthcare doctor, seeing a psychiatrist, request a new one. Request to be seen somewhere else. You don't have to just sit there and go somewhere you're not comfortable. Let's see. I have a lot of disabilities that were rated at 0, but overall it came to 80%. Is there anything I can do about the 0 ratings? Yes, the fact that you have a service connection is great. I don't care if it is a 0 rating, you have a service connection. You got nowhere to go but up. Now, I don't know what your service connections are for, right? But as you get older, your body breaks down more. These get worse. So these zeros are going to probably end up changing the older you get. Now, I don't know what all they're for. Because like with ED, you basically get a 0 rating. Some people get a 10% rating. Some get a 0 rating. But it all depends on what it is. You know, there's some people who get 0 ratings on their knees, right? 0 on both knees, and they still end up getting 10% due to bilateral. But it just depends on what it is, JM. But you got nowhere to go but up. Just be happy with the fact that you have ratings. There are some people that have they can't even get service connection. You have service connections. That's the key part. The key part is service connections. So you got nowhere to go but up. But without knowing what they are, it's kind of hard to say, yeah, you should be able to get this or you should be able to get that. But having a 0 rating, yes, you can change those. Truly appreciate your help, my brother. No problem, man. No problem. Did I have any more comments here? Let me see. Yeah, everything else I pretty much answered. All right, so let's see. Can I still get care for those disabilities at 0 rate? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm saying, bro. You're service connected. Here, when you come here, Everything you're service connected for, whether you come here, DR, wherever you're going overseas, doesn't matter. If there's a service that is offered through third party, like here, like Panama, like DR, like the Philippines, whatever you're service connected for, you can be seen. And it's not going to cost you anything for what you're service connected for. That's why I said those 0 ratings, they may seem like nothing, but you have the service connection. That is the key. So say one of them is for, I don't know, a finger, and you end up hurting that finger over here. You can get that looked at. It's not going to cost you anything because FMP is going to cover it because you're service connected. That is the key thing to remember. Any other questions? Because that's all they're going to cover overseas is what is service connected. And that's the sad part, because there are people who come who are like 70% PTSD, and then they end up having like other issues, but they're not service connected for it. So it's not free. They got to pay out of pocket or either fly back to the US. Hey, Markel, new subscriber, first live chat. Appreciate all the info you provide and for keeping it real. Ain't no problem, Mr. Douglas. How you doing today? Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Any other questions, guys, regarding anything else? Because I'm still going to my physical therapy appointments in Sabaneta through HCA, which is the third party. Be sure I say this again. Third party. It has no affiliation with the U.S. government. Third party services for disabled American veterans that come here. So I go to physical therapy 2 times a week. You can, if you need to get x-rays, you need to get MRIs, and you're service connected for whatever it is, it's going to cost you nothing out of pocket. All my medications I get here, right? Some of it has a different name. You're not going to get everything exact that you get in the U.S. The same with prosthetics or any other specialty item that you have. They can get it here in Colombia. Will it be the exact same that you're used to in the States? Most of the time, no. It's going to be a little different. If you plan on moving here, right, and say you have a bunch of prosthetics at home, walker, scooter, this stuff that you service connected for, it's what I'm referring to. Stuff that you have at home that you're not trying to travel with, you're wondering if you can get it here in this country. I'm just naming some examples. Walker, shower seat, scooter, canes, different braces. You can get all that here, and it won't cost you anything as long as you're service connected. That is the key. So when he asked about the 0 rating, doesn't matter. He's service connected. FMP is going to cover it. As a matter of fact, for those of you that are thinking about going overseas, you should go to the VA's website and go ahead and apply for the foreign medical program even before you leave the U.S. With the foreign medical program, they're going to send you a detailed list of everything that they cover that you have that's service connected. Everything that you're entitled to, from voc rehab to education benefits to all your disabilities that they cover, you're going to get that list sent to you by the foreign medical program. So if you plan on living overseas, regardless of where you're going in the world, I would advise you to go ahead and go online, fill out that application, send it in to the foreign medical program. That way you're already in the system. You know what is covered and what is not covered before you leave the U.S. Good morning, Mr. Solomon. How you doing today? Now, does anyone else have any other questions regarding any of this? Let's say, if I'm not moving, but just traveling for a few months, can I sign? Yes, you can. I don't know if you ever watched my old channel before I shut it down. I would travel to the DR for maybe 3 months and then go back home and then go back for another 2 or 3 months. And I was being seen by the third-party service in the Dominican Republic. And the same thing, once I signed up for FMP, I needed medication. I needed whatever it is. But with the DR, it was a little different. They couldn't necessarily get everything I needed. Here in Colombia, they've been able to get pretty much everything that I needed. Any thoughts on places to visit in Mexico? In Mexico, man, I love going to Playa del Carmen in Mexico, Mexico City. Um, everybody's been to Cancun. I don't know how much time you spend in Mexico, but Cancun is still cool, even though it's more touristy and you're gonna hear more English and Spanish in Cancun. Cancun is still nice. Um, I don't know if you're trying to go to the border towns, like close to San Diego, Tijuana, close to Yuma. You got San Luis, Los Agadones. Um, but Mexico is pretty cool, man. I've always said Mexico is a hidden gem that a lot of people are missing out on because they hear a lot of bad things about Mexico. Well, there's bad things happening all over the world. Let's see. Does two service connected knee braces warrant two clothing allowance payments? It used to. It's going to depend on your prosthetics department at whatever VA you're going to. They used to do that, and I used to be able to get one for each knee. Now they just give me one, even though I have a brace on each knee. So I used to get six a year. They cut it down to four because I have braces on both ankles, custom braces on the ankles. I want to be sure I say that. Two knee braces, one back brace, and braces for my hands. So I just get one for each ankle. I get one for both knees. I get one for each hand, and I get the one for my back. So where I am in Arizona, they just pay for one. Even though you may have two, that's how they do it in Arizona. So, but they used to, and they changed it. But they used to. It used to be a point. I don't know how long you've been in the VA system where you would only fill out that clothing allowance one time, and you would never have to go back. They changed that. Now every so many years, they usually send you a letter telling you that you need to go in and have all your prosthetics inspected before they pay it again. Because if you don't get it inspected, at least that's the way they do it in Phoenix and in California. I don't know about the rest of the countries because these hospitals got different policies. But I know in California and in Phoenix, if you don't get it inspected, I think it's every 3 years, 2 years or 3 years, they'll stop paying you that clothing allowance. So you have to get your prosthetics inspected. Let's see. I would still be enrolled at my local VA also. Yes, it has nothing to do with it. Uh, if you go to the VA's website and it tells you as long as you're seen at whatever facility that you're going to now, one time in a 2 year period, you will always be enrolled at that VA and you don't have to start over. That's why I keep my relationship with Phoenix. I actually got an appointment, two appointments this week, virtual, right, through telehealth. And I keep those appointments because when I do decide to go back, I'm going to have the same relationship where I don't have to start that process all over and then reapply to be seen there. So remember, you can travel, do everything you need to do, but just be seen at whatever VA you're at now. If that's where you want to be, one time in a 2 year period. That's all it takes to keep it there. Markel, is that old channel still up? Nope. Great interview, Uncle Hank. I appreciate it. Now the old channel's gone. Let's see. I got my letter last week. What letter are you referring to? Oh, about your braces and them having to be inspected. Yeah, if you guys get prosthetic devices, braces of any kind, they're going to want to inspect those braces. If you don't allow them to inspect those braces, they're not going to pay that clothing allowance. No problem. No problem. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I keep trying to tell people that, man, because there are people here, but you know what? Here, I'm not sure yet how you get paid for the clothing allowance because I go back to Phoenix and I just go see the prosthetic departments in Phoenix, let them inspect my braces, and then I'm off and running again for the next couple of years until they ask for it again. But I know there is a way here for you to get your clothing allowance, but I hadn't figured out yet how to do it while you're living overseas. I don't know the ins and outs of that, to be quite honest with you. Now, at this point, does anyone else have any other questions when living overseas? Now, I will tell you guys that here in Colombia, for those of you that are thinking about coming here and getting a visa here, you are going to be required to have health insurance. Even though you have insurance with the foreign medical program, that's not going to be good enough. You're going to need to show a minimum. Just looking at it with Jay, I believe it's 60,000 minimum policy for health insurance, at least in this country. Now, if you're going to the DR, I'm not aware of any changes they've made in the Dominican Republic. But in the DR, though, you can stay as long as you want and basically just pay to leave. You just pay the exit fee to get out of the country. Here, though, if you want to stay more than 6 months, you're going to need to get that visa of some type, whether it's student visa, retirement visa, work visa, home visa, whatever. You're going to need to get something. Let's see. I'll link your 5, 10, 20 rule video on Facebook. Is that yeah, that's cool, man. Does that third party cover TRICARE Prime for me and my Colombian wife? Very good question. Now, that I do not know because I haven't met anyone yet there that has TRICARE Prime. But one, to be honest with you, you personally don't need it because they're going to cover what your service connected for. Now, your Colombian wife, as far as I understand, at that place, I don't think they're going to cover her at all. I got to look into that with TRICARE Prime. I could pretty assure you that HCA is not going to cover her at all because the only people I've ever seen in there are veterans. And when you sign up, they're more concerned with just getting services for you more so than your spouse or anyone else. So if I was you, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you guys Danelo's number. So you guys got questions about that part of it because I honestly don't know. But I'm gonna give you all Danelo's number, the guy that runs HCA here, and he should be able to answer that question for you. But I'm gonna guess no. That would be my guess. Let's see. Dang it. Okay, so hopefully you guys are ready. You get a chance to write this down. So his name is Danelo D. Bryant Sr. Okay, the phone number, this is the WhatsApp number, is +57 322 617 0689. He's the head of HCA. So a question like that one, you would have to ask him. But my guess would be no. I'm going to repeat the number one more time, which is +57. That's the country code for Colombia. 322 617 0689. All right, so hopefully that helps some of you guys out. Let's see. You see the Americans stuck in Mexico. They could not get a COVID test. Wow, they couldn't get a COVID test in Mexico? That's unusual. Because, well, how are they traveling? Because, well, I'm thinking of border towns. But if there's somewhere like Cancun and they're traveling by plane, yeah, you don't need to get a test. But if you're like in a border town, you can just walk across the border. They can't stop you from coming across that border, not going back home. Where are they in Mexico? They got to be somewhere that they got to fly out. Because if they anywhere like Tijuana, no, they can't stop them going across that border. Okay, yeah, they somewhere they got to fly out. Okay, because if you in Tijuana, Los Algodones, St. Luis, you don't need no damn COVID test to go to the U.S. Hell no, they can't stop you from walking across that border or driving across the border. But yeah, if you somewhere Cancun and Mexico City, yeah, you don't need a test to get back on a flight to get your ass back to the States. I'm surprised though they're stuck. That doesn't seem like something that should happen in a major city in Mexico. That's kind of weird. I know here it's very easy to get a COVID test here. Very easy. Hell, they'll come to your house. You got to make sure it's legitimate though. They do have some scams, just like they do in the U.S. You got to make sure it's legit. But they got people here that come right to your house, give you the test, email you the results, and you off and running. So, or you can go outside here. There's tons of signs up everywhere where you can get the damn COVID test here. All right, guys. Anybody have any other questions before I shut this down today? And hopefully you can get your answer one from Danilo. And any of you guys that are thinking about coming here and using the services here, that's the number for Danilo. Any of you guys thinking about going to the Dominican Republic? In the DR, it's a little different. In the DR, they're going to charge you $25 to sign up to the third party service. They're supposed to give you an ID card, which I never got. Let me see if I can find the one for the DR real quick. What's it called? Medical something. I'll give you guys the number for that one. I think I did a video where I put those on there, but I'll do it again. So for the Dominican Republic, those of you going to the Dominican Republic, you got the same country code as the U.S. It's +1 809 747 9400. That's for the Medical Liaison Veteran Services in Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. They have a service similar with the same name in Santiago in the Dominican Republic. So I'm going to repeat that number again. It's country code +1 809 747 9400. You will need to pay them the equivalent of $25 in Dominican pesos when you go there to sign up for the service. Okay? Here in Colombia, you pay nothing. You're basically going to fill out a form. They're going to have you go to eBenefits to print out your service connection. They're going to have you print out your whatever your percentage is. Like if you're 100% P&T, they're going to have you print that out. And then they're going to want you to go to My Healthy Vet to print out all of your current medications. Okay. So hopefully all you guys got access to eBenefits and you got access to My Healthy Vet. If you don't have access to those, you definitely want to sign up for those before you travel overseas. That way, if there's an issue and you want to talk to your doctor back in the States about something that's going on with you, you can do that through secure messaging on My Healthy Vet. When's your next live? My next live is actually tomorrow. I was going to say this before I leave, but my next live is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time. And I'm going to have a special guest, Mr. McDonald. He's going to be on live tomorrow. Let's see. Can you open a bank account in Medellin without a set? Yes. You can go to Bancolombia. That bank, all you need is a passport. Okay. Not every bank is going to allow you to open without a cedular, but Bancolombia will allow you to open it with just your passport. They're going to allow you to open up a savings account. They're going to give you a debit card to go with that savings account. That is not a problem here. So that's very easy to do. Now, the line might be long. You might be sitting there for a minute because that's a big bank and there's a lot of people that use that bank, but you can definitely do it at that bank. Not a problem with just your passport. Your passport. Yeah, they didn't even ask me for proof of income. Matter of fact, I didn't even put any money in it the first time I opened the account. There wasn't no money required or nothing. That's how easy it was. Any other questions, guys? If not, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to have Mr. Kenneth McDonald on, doing an interview with him, talking about his VA, his retirement, and how he got to that point. Hopefully, I can get one on sometime this week. And then I'm going to probably open it up the next couple of weeks and put a link on here where you guys who want to come on and pretty much tell your story, that'll give you the opportunity to do it as well. Well, I just got here and people are telling me no. Where did you go? What banks did you go to? Let me show you what it looks like here. Because if you go to like BBVA, yeah, you need a cellular. If you go to Banco de Bogota, you need a cellular. But if you go to, let me show you what it looks like. This bank, Bancolombia, you do not need anything but your passport. This is where you need to go to open an account. If you don't have a visa here, any type of ID here, this is where you go. This is it. You went to Bancolombia and they told you no? Unless they change their policy, dude. I opened an account with them in 2019 with nothing but my passport. Now I do have accounts with BBVA, but I got those because I have a cellular here. But Bancolombia, as far as I know, and I got my account with them, was with just a passport. Oh, you're retired military. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what, yeah, because you got TRICARE. You couldn't have it any other way but to be retired. So that means that you have to pay for, so I don't know if you're on Social Security, but you have to pay for that. What is it? That insurance with Social Security. You're required. The TM, that is unusual. Unless they change their policy, dude. I know no one where they haven't gotten an account just going there with their passport. Was that here in Medellin? In Medellin, was that here? Or was it somewhere else here in the country? Because that's how I opened mine. As a matter of fact, I didn't even give them my passport book. All I gave them was my passport card. I even used this. I didn't even use my passport book. Wow. They must have changed their policy since then, bro. My apologies. They must have changed their policy because that is exactly how I opened my first account here with my passport card, was through Bancolombia. Yeah, other than that, man, I'm not aware of any other bank that's going to allow you to do it without a cellular. That is unusual. Did you need a Colombian residency or visa to open an account? No. I'm telling you all, when I originally opened my account, I just used my passport card. When I opened up my account with Claro for my cell service, I used my passport card. I didn't have a cellular at that point. That was in 2018. I didn't have any that I opened my bank account was in 2019. My cell phone account was in 2018 because I got my cellular in March of 2019. And I had already had a bank account and I'd already had an account with Claro. I remember when you did it. Yeah. I mean, in fact, I showed all that online. When I went to the bank, after I got the account, I showed you guys the debit card because it didn't even have my name on it. They wrote my name on the debit card. And with Claro, I just went with that. But I will tell you though, Claro runs your credit. So if you got jacked up credit, I don't know how that works. But I know Claro ran my credit when I gave them my passport card and I opened up my account with them. They ran my credit. I paid no deposit and they gave me service, but I had a limit on what I could get. I couldn't get the top service I got now. I had to wait 6 months. I had to make 6 payments. And after 6 payments, I could get any plan I wanted. I could buy anything that I wanted from Claro. And I've had that service now. What is that? Over 2 years now. Never paid late, never did any of that. Good day to everyone. Hey, Barry, how you doing? All right, guys, that's going to be it for it today. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night when I have Mr. McDonald on. Let's see. And the price, Aficionado Visa application is now, wow. Now, I paid to get it expedited, but that wasn't the regular price. It's gone up. Who is that with, TM? Are you working with an attorney or are you working with one of these services? Because the guy that does the VA stuff, Danilo, he has a guy I'm sorry, he has a lady that also does it. She's right next door. When you go to the third party VA services that's right here, there's a an immigration lawyer right next door, literally right next door to it. I don't know what they charge. I'll find out when I go to my next physical therapy appointment, but I don't think it was that much. But I paid for expedited, and I tried to film that whole process when I went through it 2 years ago. Yeah, exactly 2 years ago this month. That's man, they've gone up. Who works with a local immigration office? Okay, a service that works with. Yeah, I'll find out how much it is right next door to the HCA office. Because I'm telling you, literally, if you watch that video I have on here that shows the third party service HCA, there's a lawyer office, immigration office, literally right next door. Yeah, this is regular, no expedited. Yeah, yeah. And now you are aware that they're giving 1 year visas. They're not doing the 3 year visas anymore. Because a lot of the people that have gotten theirs renewed here, they're going off of what your health insurance policy is. So most people get a health insurance policy that's 1 year, so they give them a 1 year visa, pension visa. No worries, Ron. Have a great day. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out. Peace.